Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignertechtips.com. We got a fun one for you today. I've been experimenting with a new drop-down module that they've just introduced. I've got some images here. As you can see, they've got a little icon in the left-hand corner. If we hover over, it's going to pop out a kind of tooltip, but it's a mega tooltip because you can put any content in here you want and you can make them huge if you need to. Really easy to do with a new drop-down module that they've just introduced here. So let's get started. I'll show you exactly how to do it. I've got this page open here. Let's get rid of this whole section and we'll start from scratch. So I've got a section here. I'm going to throw a row in with 3 columns. Obviously adjust yours to taste. I'm going to throw an image module in there. Let's throw an image in there. Guess I'll use one of these crazy cars again. Okay, while we're still under the Content tab, I want to go to Elements. I'm going to add an icon. Add element. Let's add an icon. Roll down a bit. There it is. I want some kind of pointer. Although this is going to work on hover on desktop, on tablet and mobile, it'll be a tap. So I'm going to say pointer just to let people know that there's something going to happen. Okay. I'm going to go over to my design. A little bit big for me. So in the icon itself, I'm going to make it white in color. It's going to disappear into that background. I'm going to make it about 20 pixels. But I'm going to position it over the top of our image using a bit of absolute positioning here. So we can go over to advanced. Here's position. Let's hit absolute. Popped it on the top left-hand corner there. I'm going to have mine on the bottom left-hand corner. Now, if you want to make it stand out a bit more over the image, we can give it a background. So if we go back to content, background is always under content. Let's give it a black. Maybe make it slightly see-through with the opacity slider here. And perhaps give it a little bit of padding all around. We go back over to design. If we're going to add a bit of padding, I might want to take it down a little bit. Let's take it down to 15 pixels maybe. We'll go down to spacing. I'll give it perhaps 5 pixels all around. Just put the 5 in, hit the chain, it'll do the opposite side for you. Got left and right here. Obviously do what works for you. That's going to work for me. Okay, while we're inside our icon, I'm going to go back to the content now. I'm going to hit elements one more time, and inside our icon, I'm going to add a drop down. So I'm going to hit add element one more time. Here's a fantastic new drop down module. As you can see, it placed a little dark square beneath right there. Inside, I'm going to put a call to action, and you can put absolutely anything you want. That's what I mean. You can make it into a mega drop down. You can have all kind of things, anything your heart desires down there. I'm going to keep it fairly simple for our demo today by putting in a call to action. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up to my drop down. By default, it's got a black background. I'm going to take that away, so there's nothing there. I'm also going to take away any padding that it's got over in design so that our call to action kind of lines up with our image there. So if we go to spacing, it's got 20 by default all around. If we put a 0 in there, hit the chain for top or bottom, same for left and right. It's kind of lined up there. Now you can choose, if we go back up to our little drop down menu under design here, whether it opens on hover or click. Hover's fine for me, but on tablet and mobile, as I mentioned earlier, that's going to be a tap. It's going to drop down below. That's going to work for me. It's at the start at the moment. In other words, the left-hand side of the icon, and put it inside the icon there. You can have it on the center or right if you want to, by hitting the end there, but that's really not going to work for me. So start's good. And I don't think I want any gap between the bottom of the image and our little call to action when it pops up. So the drop down offset, I'm going to put a 0 in there also. Our call to action is now cinched up right on the bottom of our image. Now that's way too big for me. I don't want it much more in width than our actual image itself. So let's just click on the call to action. It'll take us right inside the call to action. I'm going to go down to sizing. We roll down a bit. It's got a column class. Let's perhaps make it 1/4. Obviously, you adjust yours to taste. That's going to work for me. I think I'll have all my text on the left. So still in the call to action, if we roll up, I'm going to go into text and roll it left. And when it gets to smaller devices, I don't want that title to be so big. So we got title text just down below. Let's maybe take that down to 16 or something like that. It's capitalized, so it's still a nice little title. Probably bold it up a little bit. Again, whatever works for you. And if you want a button, a call to action button, we can do that under the content of the call to action here. Here's the link. Here's the button link URL. Obviously, put in whatever link you want here. Once you put a link in, the buttons are going to show up down there. Great. Now, I also want my tooltip or call to action or whatever you want to call yours to be perhaps dark in color. So still under the content, we know that's where the background is. Let's click on it. Let's make it dark in color. Now, there's one other thing. You may want to pop your image out into a lightbox. If we click back on the image, because we've added our drop down to our icon here, we can still link the image. You can either link it to any URL you like here, or you can hit open in lightbox if you want it to be able to open in a lightbox. Great, now we've got our first one. It's really easy to rinse and repeat. So I'm going to go to wireframe mode over here. I'm going to duplicate my image, drag one over. They're both exactly the same here. Let's go back to the content, switch out a picture for another crazy car. Rinse and repeat. And we'll upload that image. Like I say, you're going to want to change what you've got in your call to action. Remember that we've nested everything inside here. So to get to it, once in your image, we can go to content and elements. You'll see the icon there. Remember, we put the drop down inside the icon. So if we go into the icon, there's our drop down. Inside the drop down, here's our call to action. You can edit it right there. Like I say, for expediency, I'm going to keep mine all the same. Great. Well, just so we got some scroll room, I'm going to make this section full height by going into design, sizing. We'll give it a minimum height, the 100 VH perhaps. Now let's take a look at what we've got here. Let's save our changes and we'll preview on the front end. And here we have it. If we hover over one of these images, nothing is going to happen. If we click on it, it's going to pop out into a lightbox. Should be the same for our other images here. Perfect. If we hover over the icon, it's going to have our little mega drop down there, or mega tooltip, or whatever you want to call yours. Like I say, you can put absolutely anything in these, and it's a really easy and nice little interactive feature to have. Now, there's one thing you want to bear in mind. Let's duplicate this row a couple of times. 2 little squares to duplicate, and we'll do one more. And all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go in. I'm going to change out these images so we've got different images. I'll pause the video while I do that. Okay, I've just put the last image in there. Let's resave this. Now, you may be wondering why I duplicated these rows instead of just duplicating the images under each other. And there's a reason for that. I'll show you in a moment. So we go back to our page now and refresh now what we've saved. We've got our images here. We've got a bit of a problem there. The images below are appearing on top of our little drop downs there. That's not going to work very well. In fact, it's not going to work at all. Bottom ones are all right because there's nothing underneath them. And also, if I hover over one of these, there's a little bar that appears at the bottom. And that's because of the drop down. It's actually wider than our screen, which is not a good thing. All of these are really easy fixes. So if we go back to our page here, to make sure that our drop downs appear over the below images, we can change the Z index on our rows. So let's start off with the top. We want the highest ones at the top, lowest ones at the bottom. Z index dictate how things stack. Lower numbers always appear below higher numbers. So I'm in the top row here. I've gone over to advanced. Let's go to position, roll down. Here's the Z index. Let's start off with 50 perhaps, 50. I'm going to go into my next row. Roll down a bit again. Yeah, let's give this one 40. I'm going to go to my last one. Guess what? Let me give this one 30. Now, hopefully that will fix the z-index issue. The little scroll bar that we had at the bottom there, we can fix that. If we go into our section, Advanced and Visibility, we can disable any horizontal overflow. So anything that falls outside of this section this way and that way will not be seen. I change it to hidden. Now if we resave, we'll go back to the page and refresh. Our little tooltips are appearing above our other ones there, and there's no little scroll bar at the bottom. Absolutely perfect. And of course, if we click on them, they'll still pop out into their light boxes. Great way of getting some info. You could do your staff pictures like this if you wanted to on your site. It's got all kind of connotations you can use it for. So there we have it, guys. There's how to create a mega tooltip using the great new Dropdown module and a little call to action. A little bit of work, but I think it's worth it. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions about Divi 5 or Divi 4, pop them down below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video just like this one. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.